Siege's new Spider-Man operator is a map control god. First of all, thanks to Ubisoft for this opportunity to play Operation High Stakes with all my content creator homies. I have a lot to say. Some of it's positive, some of it's negative, but here we go. This is Denari. He's our new Bond villain on the block, and he's got a couple of cards up his sleeve and some gel in his hair. But we're also going to see some pretty significant changes to how gunplay is handled on defense, especially. It's not wrong to say that the stakes are high for my favorite game. It's not wrong to say that the stakes are high for Rainbow Six Siege. I'm not going to avoid talking about the cheater thing. I'm not going to avoid talking about some aspects about this patch that I think are really going to irritate people. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. What I can tell you is that if Ubisoft is able to get the cheater situation under control this season, then I think this will be a fun season of Rainbow Six. And it's a really, really bad feeling. Like, I feel bad having to preface this video just talking about cheaters, not even talking about content. I understand that the average person is not going to come back to this game until this issue is fixed. And so everything I'm talking about here can be really awesome. And it won't matter if they don't fix this. And that's a crappy feeling. I don't take joy in saying that, but I am here to cover Siege, at least from a journalistic perspective, if we want to get that technical about it. So here I am. All right, content time, new content. So this season, we're getting a new operator, as well as a new gun, which is kind of cool. You may have spotted that. This is Dinari. Dinari is a Swiss mercenary joining the Nighthaven roster. I don't know why he's posted up like this with his legs crossed, but one can make assumptions. And his gadget is a 7-way tripwire. So what that means is you can throw this thing, and as long as it has line of sight, these 7 little diodes that you have, these emitters, as long as those emitters have line of sight on each other, they will connect and form a tripwire that will zap away grenades. It will do damage to people who run into them and slow them, 20 hit points apiece, and that damage stacks. So if you set a bunch of these underneath a windowsill, right, and somebody hops into them like a frost trap, you can down them instantly. Also, he has good guns. Blacker dead.
Last operator standing.
Got my clear!
Eliminated. Mission successful.
Alright. I'm satisfied. To make it easier to set up the trip mines, Dinari also has the Glaive sight setup secondary shotgun. This is basically the TCSG. If it was smaller, it's a 4-shot TCSG, which isn't too bad. It does 63 damage. There's not a lot to complain about there. Having more modularity is always good for an operator like this. It allows you to keep the Scorpion SMG as a primary. But this guy can do it all, right? He has gadget denial. He has entry denial. This guy is going to be good at just locking down a particular room, right? In this case, because the consulate hit tends to either go from CEO in yellow or admin over. If you pick just one of those to isolate, you can have influence in a round. In this case, cordoning off each of the windows kind of encourages the enemy team to completely abandon their admin hit. I'm sure people will eventually find ways to counter it with EMPs, but the thing is, even if you burn these lasers, they don't take very long to come back on. It only takes a couple of seconds. You can actually see me throw one of my emitters into the tripwire by mistake. So it's not like in a Rooney Gate, where if you throw something at it, it'll be gone for 30 seconds. You're going to have to use EMPs or Twitch drones to get rid of these zappy wires. You're also probably going to need to go into a custom game and actually think about how to use them before trying to shoot a shotgun hole in the floor and then think, well, maybe if it crosses on top of the, oh, wait, I don't have line of sight. Oh, well, crap, I don't know how to get the angle. It's going to take some time for people to really get an idea of how to use this operator. The good news is you're probably overcomplicating it, and I know that doesn't sound like good news, but really you can just, for now, just put them on doorways, right? Put them flush against the doorway so they can't get shot. You'd be surprised how many people will just run into these things thinking they have a free kill, and they don't. Yep, here we go.
Good luck.
It obviously helps if Bolo's helping you on your roam. I'm not going to act like it doesn't. Now, let's get into the more controversial parts of the patch. Ooh, boy. This is gonna be a rough one. So, why does Rook have the Blasta? Why does Rook have the strap? Which, by the way, got a much-needed recoil buff. He also has a C4 now. What's happening? What's going on? I really hate to tell you this, and I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this. Rook was not the only operator affected by the great ACOG purge of 2025. Every single fully automatic weapon on defense has lost its ACOG. Every single one. That includes Goyo's ACOG. That includes MP5 ACOG. Ubisoft killed the ACOG MP5. Ubisoft understands how grateful I am to be included in these capture sessions. So I can talk freely. This is a really bad idea. This is going to be your most unpopular balancing change you ever do. Ever. It's going to be more unpopular than the constant Jaeger nerfs. It's going to be more unpopular than Zofia Withstand. This is like the nerf of all time. People are going to farm content off of it. Reddit is going to explode. Not that we really, care too much about what Reddit says. But it's indicative of vibes, right? It's indicative of a vibe thing. I don't think it'll break the game. I don't think that, it's going to make diehards like me quit. None of the people I'm playing the game with in this lobby are going to quit. I can't generate a statistical analysis of how many people will quit Rainbow Six Siege because they lost MP5 ACOG. But I know it's at least 5 people. And here's the thing, man. It's just fun police. It's a fun police patch. There isn't a single person that actually plays the game every day that was upset about MP5 ACOG. You know why? Because the only people that ever complained about MP5 ACOG on a pea shooter gun that you had to hit the head in order to get a kill with, the rate of fire isn't even that high compared to other, high rate of fire SMGs. It was deserving of its ACOG. It was a skill-based weapon to use. So yeah, I'm really unhappy with that patch. I am going to do another video specifically on the ACOG thing just because it's not something that I can squeeze into the last 5 minutes of a dedicated video about the new season. That video could be 12 minutes long and deserves its own video. We also have updated Siege X versions of Consulate, Night Haven Labs, and Lair. I think the lighting looks great. I like these maps. I'm horrible at Night Haven Labs. I don't know why. Skill issue, I'm sure. But I do enjoy some Lair and some Consulate from time to time. So not much to complain about there, just keep it moving. Overall, this is a good patch. I just really, really, really hope that Ubisoft gets the anti-cheat thing figured out. Or I'm not really going to have any content to upload, right? Because I'm not going to play ranked if the game is still suffering from the cheating epidemic as badly as it's been. And that's something that I can't really talk to the efficacy of, right? I'm not a programmer, I'm not an anti-cheat dev, but I do know a little bit more now than I used to, just doing some cursory research on how these things work. I will say the entire FPS industry is getting plagued with this problem. It's an all-time epidemic across every single FPS game in general, not just Siege. The gravity of how bad it is something that I don't think people truly understand yet. Regardless, the name Operation High Stakes couldn't be more poetically succinct. Ubisoft is really, really feeling the pressure right now to win another phase of the cheating arms race. And for their sake, and for mine, somewhat selfishly, I hope they do. Thanks again to Ubisoft for inviting me to this content capture session. I promise I'm not done with Siege content just yet. Deuces.